What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Valaverse Action Force Series 3 figures. So this was an entire female wave. So in this we've got Eclipse and Pandora along with Killswitch and the female version of Steel Brigade. So all of these look cool. Be cool to look at them. I've been impressed with the female versions of the G.I. Joe Classified Series figures. So we'll have to see how Action Force does with their female figures. But all of them look pretty cool. And as usual, have their sort of unique looks to them and everything. But sort of all generic and pretty similar to what the guys have and stuff. Of course, especially with Steel Brigade, but all of them look pretty cool, so I'm excited to see how they are compared to the men. So let me get them out of the package and we'll take a look at them together. Well, let's start off with Eclipse, whose real name is Danny Tamayo, and she grew up in upstate New York to a Mohican father and Ecuadorian mother, and after high school, she decided to serve her country and went into airborne training, and after the divide, she ended up joining Action Force to showcase her talents, and overall, she looks cool. She reminds me a lot of Condor, and speaking of Condor, we can bring him in here, so you can just see, I want to show you, the height differences between the men and the women and stuff, so just want to show that in, but just with her chest plate with the collars reminded me of Condor there, so just wanted to show that. But otherwise, her outfit design almost reminds me of like Steel Brigade, which of course we have that female figure coming up just with the colors of the blue and the tan pants and stuff. But overall, she looks pretty cool. So there's her face, which looks pretty decent. I love like braid and her hair being clipped back there and has the shorter haircut, of course, being in the military. But face-wise, overall, it looks pretty good. It looks like her eyes are like almost like cat eyes or something, just like the colors of them and piercing and everything. But then underneath, she's got the blue shirt. So the blue shirt with the dark blue and lighter blue colors, and then this light, almost gray color of vest over the top. Has the airborne logo there with the Action Force design. I love the spine design and stuff there, and some magazine holders in the front, and on the back of the belt we have a sheath for the knife. Tan pants going down the legs where she has a thigh holster, some knee pads, and then some gray color boots with some padding and stuff on them there, and overall looks cool with some tan gloves as well. Now we'll try the movements. So the head can twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far, so pretty good movements there. The shoulders can come up pretty stiff but can come up to 90 there and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so not too bad, over 90 at least. The wrist can twist around and flex up and down for this hand, so it's definitely a gun hand. Then we get the ab crunch, which with the chest plate it's going to be hard to tell, but can rock back and forth a little bit and can twist around a little as well. Then we get the hips that can come up to 90 and out to the side, can pretty much do the splits with like the drop down hips. We got to push them back up in. We get a thigh twist that can twist all the way around, a little bit stiff but can twist there, with the double knee joint that I can only get to bend up that far to the back, so not sure if something's going on there, but I can only get it to bend that far. Then we have a shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth, again real stiff on these, but can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So as you saw, the joints weren't the best on these and they were real stiff, so we had to heat them up out of the packaging, and as you see, the joints sort of stiffened up back again, so it kind of stinks that we don't have the best movements with them, and just my experience with past figures, like trying to put accessories in and switch out hands and stuff, hasn't always been the best thing, so hopefully we won't have too many issues, but we'll just have to see. But for accessories, we get an additional head, so we have a head that's covered with a scarf, and I love the scarf design with like that teal or light blue color, whatever it is on the tan, looks cool, and then we have her face just showing there, so that looks pretty cool. And if we also want to have the unmasked version, we do have this we could put around her neck, so I may try this again. I'm worried about switching out heads and possibly breaking them, so we'll just see what I can do. So yeah, I wasn't able to get this head on, it just would not go on for me, but I was able to at least get the scarf on because this head went on and off pretty easily, so I like it with the scarf, so definitely be the way I would keep is with the scarf design on there, just because I love the color of the scarf, so having that added in I like a lot, so definitely keep her like that. But then we get some additional hands, so she has 2 trigger finger hands on there already, so we get a set of fist hands, some standard grip hands, so just with the regular grips, and then we also have a set of the cupping hands, and with all those we can use it for a weapon. So first we get a knife, so the knife we've sort of seen before with characters, and we'll just stick this in the sheath here on her back, so it just sits in the back there. We also get a pistol, so the pistol, again, similar design we've seen in the past, almost like a futuristic design with the thickness of it and everything, and with this we'll stick it down into the thigh holster, which sits down in there like that. And for her main weapon, she comes with this rifle. I don't know a lot about guns, so I don't know what type of gun this is, but I love the scope up top, and then the black center and tan everywhere else I think looks pretty cool. And with this we also get some extra magazines, so we have magazines we can stick up in there so we can store them like that. So let's put this into her hands. So there I got the gun in her hand, and she came with some extra magazines, so I went and stuck them in the holders there in the front, and then I just got the gun in her hand as best I could. I couldn't get her hand switched switched out, much like the head. It was too stiff, so I couldn't get the hand out, so I just had to leave that trigger finger hand on there. So there she is with the gun, and like all the others in the past, she comes with the diamond plating Action Force stand there as well that we can pop her on. So there, that will keep her stable now. Overall, she's pretty decent. Like, it's pretty much just like all the other Action Force, just with the female body this time instead of the male, so there's not a whole lot of difference between them, but I do like the different characteristics, you know, with the head design, having the scarf and stuff like that. But everything else about it is pretty much the same as the men, like I said, just with a female body this time, so there's not a whole lot that stands out at each one. And then with the just stiffness of the joints is pretty annoying, because like I said, we already heated them all up and everything, got everything loose, and now they're pretty much stiffened back up again. Just another annoying set of figures where you just have to constantly heat stuff up just to even be able to use them. So the whole action in the action figure doesn't really work too well, unfortunately, but she's not horrible. And next up we have Pandora, and just by the looks here, she reminds me a lot of Zorana from the G.I. Joes, but her real name is Miranda Kelly, and she grew up on the tough streets of Ireland as a member of the Coonan mob until she fell in love with Coonan's wife, which angered Coonan, and he gave her a Glasgow smile, which I'll show you that up close. And because of this, she and her brother left for America, where they quickly rose to power in New Jersey. And as I said, just because like the hair color and design stuff, like I said, reminds me a lot of Zorana, and as I said, she has a Glasgow smile, which doesn't really show up too well unless you look at it close, which means she has the scar on her cheeks there that go all the way up, so pretty much like the Joker in the Christopher Nolan Batman movies where he has the scars on his face and stuff, so that's pretty much like what happens to her. But I love the shaved head with the tattoo like there on the back, so it's almost like the Celtic symbol there, and then the tattoos there on her arm, so that looks pretty cool, again with the shaved head with the orange up top going into the blonde. And then I love how she has almost like a tank top design or something on there, so we don't really have her all covered up. Some wrappings around her hands, of course she has like holsters and stuff on around there with the belt around the waist with the sheath on the back, and then just some like blue jeans or tactical pants with the padding and stuff in there. The knee pads all the way into the brown boots that have the padding very similar to what Eclipse had, just in different colors. So overall I think she looks pretty cool. And now of course for our size comparison, here is the male compared to us, so just a little bit shorter, so there's not much height difference between the characters. And then we can do the movements, so the head can twist around, of course have to be worried about the hair, but can twist around, look down that far and look up that far, so pretty good there. The shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so much further for her. And then the wrist can twist all the way around and flex up and down for this hand. Then we go to the ab crunch, so again it's going to be hard to tell, but I'm sure she has crunches and stuff in there, so can crunch back and forth a little and twist around, so it looks like probably right under her chest. Then the hips can come up to 90 and then out to the side. She can do the splits. If the drop down hips got to push back, but a thigh twist that can twist all the way around. The double knee joints, which feels really stiff, that can bend up that far back, so much better than Eclipse had at least. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flexes back and forth, again real stiff, back and forth, and twist side to side. So she's pretty decent movements, not the best, but still better than Eclipse, so I guess that's much better overall. And then we get all of her accessories. So first, like Eclipse, she came with a scarf piece, so let's put this on her if I can. So there's the scarf on her, and I love that. It sort of fills in that midsection, adds more color into her and stuff, so I love that design. Then she comes with additional hands, so just like the others, we get a set of fist hands, a set of grip hands, and a set of cupping hands. Then we get all her weapons. So first we get a knife. So she has a crazy knife there. It's almost like a talon and stuff. It looks pretty crazy in the black with the silver blade. So I'll stick this in the sheath here on her back. So again, it just slides right in the back there. Then for guns, she comes with some pistols. So we have dual pistols here that we can stick into the holsters here on her front. So there's the pistols in those holsters. And then for her main weapon, she comes with like a little Uzi or submachine gun, whatever it is. Again, with nice scope, stylish on the front, and the extended mag there. So let's put this into her hand. So there's that Uzi in her hand. And then she also comes with a comma, so she has this like scythe thing that looks pretty crazy, again in all black with the silver blade. So let's put this in her other hand, and with that she definitely looks crazy and ready to kill. So she just looks awesome there. This is probably my favorite character of the wave, just because I love how much she stands out and looks and everything. So definitely one of the coolest figures of this wave, and she looks awesome. And of course finally we have the stand to put her on. So Pandora overall just looks awesome there. So like I said, definitely my favorite of the wave. And next up we have Killswitch, which is Lila Richardson, and she was a world-class swimmer that joined the Navy and excelled in every area, and eventually she became a BUDS instructor where she earned her moniker. And during the Divide she was recruited in the Action Force by a former member of her father's special ops team. And overall she looks cool. Again, another character design that'll stand out and stuff. So she's of African American descent, so she got the darker skin tone, so that looks really nice overall. And I love how she has the gold ring there in her nose and stuff, so again little details that make it stand out a bit. And then she has the hairstyle, so she has almost like the dread hair or whatever you want to call it there, that looks pretty nice all together around there. And then she's got a red shirt on underneath, so completely covering up, with a green vest over the top. And I love that Action Force logo and stuff there, with the spine, so just like the one that Eclipse was wearing. And then she's got some like darker gray pants there, tactical pants, with the thigh holster all the way down to the boots. That she pretty much looks exactly like Eclipse, just they changed up the colors of the body and stuff, and then of course switched out her head. Now movements then should be the same as well, so the head can twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far, so pretty decent there. Shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend, again pretty stiff, but can bend up that far at least, with the wrist that can twist around and flex up and down for this hand. Again, who knows what the ab crunch and stuff is going in there, but can crunch back and forth and twist around. Get the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side. Got the thigh twist around, the double knee joint, and just like Eclipse is real stiff, but does come up a little bit higher for her. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flex back and forth and twist side to side. So yeah, it's the exact same figure as Eclipse, so not really surprised with that. But accessory wise, we get an additional head, so we have a head completely covered up with like the balaclava or whatever, so you can just see her eye sticking out there, which is fine. I don't like this because I like this head so much, so won't be using that one covered up, but I just think this head looks so good. And then we get all the same hands, so we have a set of fist hands, the set of standard grip hands, and then the cupping hands. Then she comes with a lot of the same weapons. So first we get the knife, so again that like Action Force knife that we can stick into the sheath, so again just slides there in the back. She comes with the pistol as well, but this time more gray color than just all black, so that's pretty cool and stands out. Again, goes into the thigh holster just like that. And then she comes with two weapons. So first she has this rifle, so just like a machine gun of some sort that has room for a magazine, so we can stick the magazine down in here. And I love the gray magazine standing out on the gun, so mostly all black, but gray in the front has the gray magazine, so that stands out there, and comes with extra magazines, so we can stick them in the pockets here on the front. So there's those magazines, and again we can put this into her hand. But then she also comes with what looks like a sniper rifle, at least, so a bigger rifle here with a big scope on it. It has a small magazine on there already, so that looks much cooler. So let's see if we can put this into her hand. So there's Killswitch with the sniper rifle. Again, can't really get into her hands that good because I can't get some hands switched out, so just have to use what I can there. But there she is with the sniper. And again, for size comparison, there it is with Condor, which, you know, not much difference, so they're all going to be pretty much the same height. And then of course she comes with the base to pop her on. So there's Killswitch all looking cool. Like I said, I love having that sniper rifle with her, just makes her stand out a little bit more, and overall looks pretty cool. Nice to add her into the group. And our final figure today is the female Steel Brigade, which is codenamed for Action Forces Support and Extraction Squadron. Each is highly trained with mission-specific training in close quarter combat and hostage rescue, and many of them are experts at airborne and air assault operations. So like I said, it's going to look pretty much just like the Steel Brigade figure we've already had, just that one was male where this one's female. And I'll go ahead and bring it in. So there you can see they have a lot of similar colors and designs, everything, pretty much same helmets there as well, just obviously now in the female form as compared to the male. But I like her design, so she has the face mask completely covering her, you know, has like the breather and stuff on there, since it says they do a lot with air things, so they have the mask. And I love the light blue visor there, and the helmet just completely covering, so it helps hide the identity as well. And then she has the dark blue shirt underneath with some gray details around it, so much like some of the other figures have wore. Then she has the chest plate again that has the logo probably on there for them, with some magazines on the front, the holder there in the back, so pretty similar to all the other Action Force females. Green pants going down, thigh holster, gray knee pads, and black boots with gray there on the front of them, and some black gloves with gray on them as well. So again, looks pretty much just like all the other Action Force females, just her head's covered this time. But for Moons, get the head that can twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far, so pretty good movements in the neck there. Shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so pretty good, with the wrist that twists around and once again flexes up and down. Again, some sort of ab crunch and twist around in there, with the hips that can come up to 90 and out to the side. Got the drop down hips, of course, thigh twist in there, the double knee joint that once again is real stiff, so I don't know what's with these. That can bend up that far to the back. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So it has the exact same movements as the other Action Force based females, so no real major issues there. Though when I was moving it, her knife sheath did fall off the back, so we'll just have to glue it back on. It just came unglued off the back there, so can't really do that. But yeah, that's the only issue I've had so far besides the stiffness. But accessory wise, we have a lot of the same stuff again, but for her we get an additional head. So we have a gold head this time, so if you don't want to have like the gray or whatever, we do have a gold, so it could be like the leader or something there, so a nice gold head for that. We get all the same hands again, so we get the set of fist hands, the grip hands, and the cupping hands. And then weapons, we get the knife again, which the knife, you know, the sheath fell off, so we can't really do that, but you can slide it in there if we want. So we have this knife in the sheath. And then we have the pistol as well, so the pistol can go into the thigh holder, and so it fits down in there. And then we get her weapon of a rifle, so it just like the other rifle we saw before, and pretty similar design. Just the only difference is that it has some silver magazines, so we have the magazines we can put in that look silver this time. So we have that, and then we do have 2 other magazines that we can put into these holders, and there they are in there. So let's go and put this gun in her hand. So there's the gun in her hand. I decided to switch it up and make her a lefty, and I once again could not get the hand switched out, so just have to use the trigger fan there to hold it. But overall, she looks pretty cool, and like I said, will go good with the other Steel Brigade figures we have, and it's pretty cool to have a female version of it now, and then of course as the base we can pop her on. And overall, the female Steel Brigade works out pretty good as well. And that is going to be it for our Action Force Wave 3 figures with the full female wave, where we had Eclipse, Pandora, Killswitch, and Steel Brigade. So all of them were pretty cool. Again, it's the Action Force. Like I said, in the past, I'm not like too crazy about these, because to me they don't seem to have like good enough, like I want to say like identity or whatever, you know, as much as like the G.I. Joes do to me. But I think they do a pretty good job, you know, where like all the 3 females here especially all have their own unique characteristics and designs. Like I said, Pandora just really stands out the most, just because she seems to be like different from all the others, whether she just seem to be military forms of females, where she seems to be, you know, like off-brand and her own separate thing, so it makes her stand out a little bit more. And then of course Steel Brigade, supposed to be just like an army soldier, a faceless soldier and stuff. But all of them I think are pretty decent. They're not horrible figures, pretty good female bodies and stuff, and overall I'd say pretty comparable to the G.I. Joe versions and stuff, so not bad figures overall. Just I wish they could be a little bit better with like not as stiff joints and stuff, and easier to switch out hands and heads. But let me know what you thought of these figures down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.